Warning. This podcast contains spoilers.
Third World Cinema Club.
你每个人都好吗? Welcome to Third World Cinema Club.
Oh
and I'm
my
sorry for
gosh.
my Chinese. I'm now practicing for our
We
new
got
Chinese
lost.
overlords.
We got lost.
Barrett, why are you doing this to us?
I'm John Tawasil from Present Confusion.
I'm Princess Kinok of Film Police Reviews.
I'm DJ Ramones from ReverseDelay.net.
I'm Jim of Jimmy Lee Kulatibapa.
Okay, today we're talking about a lot of things.
Yes, but
You know?
first and foremost, I missed you guys.
Ay,
Okay.
ako din.
Medyo we came back from a hiatus ish
Which you guys didn't notice
because we had
we're
an
very smart.
we put some episodes in the back. We still have a few episodes
Yeah.
left there.
We called
But,
it an advance na
Yes, Jim.
podcast. Ano ba? Kasi.
So, this will be a relatively free-flowing episode. And firstly, we'll be talking about a film that we've actually covered before. It's Tayo sa Huling Buwan ng Taon by Nestor Abrojena. Now that we've finally seen it, let's talk about what we thought about the film.
Wow.
So, Princess, ikaw muna since...
Yes.
Ayan.
Ay, wait
So-
guys. Can we talk about parang short lang about ang kwento nating dalawa? Parang
sige.
short lang.
Sige.
Para may ano sila about regarding tayo.
Actually, like DJ, pareho kami, we watched ang kwento nating dalawa. Yung free version sa YouTube ako. Pero ikaw, yung sa iFlix, di ba?
iFlix, yeah. It's free to watch on iFlix with ads.
Naubos ko na yung free trial ko sa iFlix.
You don't have to be logged in.
Okay.
Ah, okay. I see.
So free siya sa iFlix
Oo.
talaga. Ay, sayang.
Lumalabas pa nga siya sa yung promoted link on Google search.
Sayang, sana... Siyempre, inamin ko na nagpirata ako sa YouTube. Sorry po, direct.
Umawi ka
Susunod.
sa background.
FBI.
Edit ko na lang. Shh, ganun.
Habang nagtatrabaho ka, mag-open ka ng tab, play mo lang.
So, pinanood ko siya and it's very, it's a quiet film no? Kumbaga, yung wala masyadong, narratively, wala siya masyadong quote-unquote conflict. I'm not sure if that's the right word. Parang it's just a series of things that happen
It's just happening.
to our characters. Ay, yung pagkasabi,
Sinusundan lang nila,
yung pagkasabi mo, DJ, nung nag-usap tayo after, parang napaka-lo-fi niya compared sa tayo.
In retrospect, after watching tayo.
Ayun. So, kayo guys, ano ang tingin nyo sa ang kwento natin dala? Very short thoughts lang before we move on to tayo.
Well, after watching,
lang.
after listening to Nestor and friends talk about AKND, parang I had a different perspective on it. But before, when I saw it, I was actually one of the people that didn't like it because I didn't really understand if there should be a conflict. So for me, it's like my moral compass is being shaken
By this movie.
by this movie na dapat hindi naman. Yun. But then, I realized na as the movie played out, actually, dun sa review na sinulat ko, parang the film actually just falls in your eyes, like a lost memory. So,
Jim?
Buti na lang din nakinig ako nung podcast kasi I also have my reservation with the movie kasi nung diniscuss din namin siya nung mga co-researchers ko sa show namin kasi nirecommend ko to watch it. Parang sila, they don't like it. Ako rin, hindi ko siya gusto kasi parang ang haba ng mga shot na parang ang haba ng mga setners or ang tagal ng setners sa LRT. And then sana parang may mga eksena na tinanggal, ganun. Pero nung tinedefend ko rin yung movie, sabi ko dun sa mga co-researchers ko, ang maganda naman with ang kwento nating dalawa, yun yung nakikita natin sa mga millennials and Generation Z na parang sa kanilang dalawa lang nakaikot yung mundo. Kaya nga from the title itself, it's ang kwento nating dalawa. Ganon. Tapos meron pa akong isang friend na napanood niya rin sa sine yung ang kwento nating dalawa. Ang sabi niya lang sa akin, sa sobrang na-stress siya dun sa film, nanood siya ulit ng another film sa sinihan. So, we know na may mga na-dismay with ang kwento nating dalawa. Pero it's a surprise hit eh. So, bumenta siya sa millennial and Generation Z. Although, hindi lahat ng tao nagustuhan siya. Kasama ko dun. Pero nung napakinggan ko nga yung podcast, nagets ko na yung aim or objective nga ni Nestor. Yun ang maganda. Yun.
Okay, so, ikaw, DJ, nasabi mo na?
Nung una ko siya napanood, yun nga, underwhelming din eh. Kasi bumenta talaga na from the music video
Yes.
quest na akala mo sobrang hugot o sobrang feels. Pero iba pala yung mismong pelikula na it turns out, ito napansin ko nung second viewing ko, yung isang pinapanood na pelikula in class ni Sam, ni Nico Manalo, naka-blur out siya kasi siguro they don't have the rights. Pero before Sunrise yung ipe-play.
Ako din
Yes,
napansin ko yun. Parang
So,
sa Tanabatas Wife, may ganyan naka-blurred.
Naka-blur din. So yun yung inspiration talaga niya na babad lang, susundan ka lang habang kukantuhan randomly. Big. Pero ang mas na-appreciate ko on my second viewing na nakita ko na naisip ko rin naman even the first time. Yung ginagawa kasi nila is sinusundan nila yung parang boring, real, authentic parts
Oh,
kung ano yung ganong nangyayari.
The mundane parts.
Without any of the drama na hinahanap or na-condition na tayo na hanapin.
Hanapin.
Tomorrow.
That's true.
Actually, yun yung magandang part din ng film, which dinedefend ko rin dun sa mga kausap ko regarding ang kwento.
Pero yun nga, hindi emotional yung payoff ng pelikula. More of intellectual yung pag-engage mo sa kanya.
Yun. So, let's move on to tayo sa huling buwan ng taon. Ako, personally, very interesting yung film sa akin. Mabigat siya eh. Surprisingly mabigat siya. And parang it doubles down then on what you said, DJ, na the first like 2/3 of the film is like these two couples going about their relationships. Walang conflict eh. It's it's very slice of life. Yun yung description ko eh. Parang it's just them doing what they do. And also, it doesn't say, marami siyang bagay na hindi niya sinasabi, na ini-infer mo lang based on what you see.
Or only the slightest hint, tapos kailangan mong...
You have to piece it together eh. Which I really found, nice. Then, in the last third, dun ka nagkaroon ng dramatic like tension or dramatic moment. And it like the theme of the movie, there's some things that you can't just truncate. You can't escape it that easily. Parang, kumbaga, like I said in my review, kumbaga, it's like gravity eh. You can't escape gravity that easily. And when a body that has mass passes through, like kunyari yung mga asteroid field, ganyan, it will change trajectories talaga. And you see it in the third act. And yun eh, gusto ko yung treatment niya. It's almost experimental for me eh. Na tipong, you don't really see this kind of treatment in your usual romantic films or your usual like narrative films eh. It's very interesting. Kayo guys.
Tayo na to, no?
Tayo na to.
I agree. Tsaka yun nga, kasi sabi ni Nestor, basta tandaan lang natin, flight, orbit, and gravity. So, that was very evident in the entire film.
Yes.
So, yun nga, parang as they all fly like birds, free na sila. Then, apparently, nahugot sila ng orbit between the unresolved issues between themselves. Ganun. Tapos, parang nga silang gravity na parang they're either standing firm on their ground na they continue or they pick up from where they've left or leave it as is.
Yes.
So, maganda siya for me kasi tsaka yun nga, parang sabi ko, first time na hindi ako nakarelate in a same experience kind of way. Nakarelate ako, parang both siya cerebral and at the same time siya. Nag-connect siya sa akin na
On an
parang,
emotional level.
Yeah. So parang feeling ko dito nag-improve ng todo si Nestor. Parang he learned the lessons that he had to learn from the first film.
Yes.
Lahat ng criticisms, lahat ng feedback
Very
na
evident
binigay sa
na
kanya.
siya.
It's a massive
Sobrang
improvement over
Yes.
over A-Candy.
And ang ganda nung side by side na
Yes.
treatment na parang they're showing, yung sa umpisa na parang ito yung life ni girl, ito yung life ni boy. Tapos parang pagdating, ang ganda nung isang shot, favorite shot ko, sorry, spoiler alert, may shot doon, actually it was a guerrilla shot pala, sabi ni Tay. Yung sa yung sa PSE, yung reflected siya. Parang for me, yun yung parang may ball na siya. Kasi may mga balls doon, di ba?
Yeah.
Tapos bilang after nun, ano
Ito ba
na
yung
siya?
light show?
Oo, tapos
Yeah.
bilang nag-light show na siya.
Yung before.
Oo.
Yung nag-meet sila?
May ano kasi parang 5 to 10 seconds na parang nakaganon lang sila sa ano. Yung
Yeah.
camera, nakaganon lang sa
It's just a straight
PSE,
line.
oo.
And then it starts revolving.
Oo.
Na yun nga, orbit, di ba? So, in that scene, there are these two characters
Oo,
na they
nag-meet
meet again.
Parang two planets na
They start
nagtugma
orbiting each other.
Oo. And then yun. Tapos parang conflict ensues. And I like din na itong film na to, it pays respect to the romance genre. Kasi
Yes.
in romance genre, parang may mga nakakainis na films na parang, okay, may two ex-lovers, but they forget the other people that's
Yeah.
them.
Yes.
So dito, talagang yung scene ni Frank and Anna,
Ah.
na parang mukha silang chill lang pero they know that there's betrayal in their eyes. Dun.
Tayo yun. Tayo talaga
May
yun.
betrayal na
Ini-embody
nagaganap.
niya yung tayo.
Oo.
Part nung
Yun.
pelikula.
So I like it. I really like it. Sobrang yung sadness niya for me after the film nag-stay siya ng mga ilang araw.
Lubos.
Ayun.
DJ.
Gym muna, gym.
O, Jim.
Kasi pasabog si DJ mamaya.
Ah,
Charot.
DJ yung pasabog.
Pasabog.
DJ yung
ko yung
ano eh,
sasabihin ko.
bongga. Sorry.
Ako aminado, I like it as well. Kasi kitang-kita mo na yung improvement talaga. Very evident na yung improvement ni Nestor. Talagang kita mo na yung, ang dami na niyang natutunan with the first film. Tapos ang maganda dito kasi, kita mo na yung maturity nung mga characters. Kasi di ba nung una, dun sa ang kwento, kita mo pa yung mga parang childish parts nila. Pero dito, mature na sila because ano na sila tawag dito, may kanya-kanya na silang buhay. They have their respective partners sa kanilang romantic relationship. Tapos ang maganda pa dito, nakita natin yung puso nila Frank sa ni Anna before na mag-meet sila, di ba dun sa party, tapos after. So, yun yung maganda. And ako, amazed talaga ako with the cinematography ni Tay Clamor.
Actually,
Super.
ganda ng
as in,
collaboration nila ng dalawa.
Ganda nga, ganun. Yun yung talagang highlight ng film. Kasi yung may mga shots like, kahit yung overhead, di ba?
Oo.
Ang ganda nung
And
shots.
napansin nyo ba yung, gusto ko yung i-text nun, yung, meron doon yung fire exit, favorite ko yung fire
Ay,
exit.
ako din. Ang ganda nung shot na
Na
yun.
shot. Yung
Kung si Emmanuel Vera.
Oo, kumakain siya ng...
Yung nakaslant
Ice cream.
siya.
Oo,
Ang ganda
parang
na.
agaw buhay shot, gano'n.
Ganda nun.
Naka-vertical na gano'n.
Kumbaga, there's something out of balance.
Yun nga yung ginawa kong featured photo ng review ko eh. Kasi doon mo
Kuha
makikita,
ka ng shot.
Nasa trailer?
nasa trailer, pero nandun yung name ni Vera.
Vera.
in-edit ko pa,
oo.
kasi
Okay.
Kaya pala
Like
sa malaking
Photoshop.
tanong,
Oo nga, oo
bakit
nga.
Vera na siya? Dati
Oo.
Emmanuel Vera.
Branding.
Oo, branding.
Parang
Parang
sa
Prince.
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Beyonce. Kailangan ano tawag doon?
Mononym.
Parang ganun.
Sorry, guys.
Pero ang galing kasi talaga ng shot na yun. Kasi
Sobra.
maramdam mo yung gravity. Di
Oo,
Parang-
yung
Parang
gravity.
malulula ka kasi.
She's being pulled
May
down.
vertigo,
Mm-mm.
may tension yung shot.
Oh, yan, James.
Going back.
Sorry.
Mas natatawa ako dun,
Sorry,
actually natatawa ako dun sa shot nung, it's not naman, parang condescending, pero natatawa ako dun sa, parang orbit, di ba? Yung umiikot yung shot. Kasi usually sa
Yeah.
mga romance, ito na yung part na kapag nakita yung dalawang couple, either ex-couple or couple sila, ito na yung magyayakapan, maghahalikan, ganun. So, alam mo na, pero dito, it was treated a different way. Parang ang nangyari, parang nandun yung, hindi ba nila alam kung sino mag-initiate. May tatanungin ba nila isa't isa about what happened sa past, ano ba yung naging reason nung parang may awkwardness. So, kakaiba yung, for me, kakaiba yung treatment dun sa part na yon nung pag-meet ulit ng ex-lovers. Ayun.
There's also, speaking of yung collaboration ni Tate tsaka ni Nestor, there's a really fantastic sequence na isang take lang. It's after yung that orbit scene we were talking about, and it's these four characters. They're interacting with each other, with other people. Na tipong yung
Criss-cross na siya.
It's like yung analogy ko doon sa review ko is like yung para sa bilyar, yung kakaano mo lang.
Kakakasa mo lang.
Kakakasa mo lang. Tas yung mga billiard balls nag-aanuhan sila. They're scattering everywhere.
Collisions. Or parang mga asteroids yun na.
Yeah, asteroids fields
Yes.
na gulo-gulo.
Pero may
Yes.
space.
Ganun.
Sa taas.
Oo.
Yun,
Inertia.
Ang galing eh.
It's in its play.
May physics na ba
Edit
ito?
ko konti mamaya.
It's so well choreographed talaga.
Oo.
Parang
totoo.
it's like 10 minutes long and it's
Ang ganda.
yeah, it's a technical like achievement. So one of the best like film moments of the year so far
Yes.
for me.
Impressed din ako dun. Kaso parang ang counterpoint nga dyan palagi is, ginagawa naman yan everyday sa theater. Eh. So,
True.
parang unfair daw sa mga theater artists na sobrang amazed natin sa long takes.
Nga.
Although it's still a joy to watch. Na
Yes, it's
just
a really-
following that interaction. Na.
Super fun.
For me, yung powerful dun sa film was yung sa yung sa El Hogar. Kasi
Yes,
ang ganda nung cut niya sa trailer. Tapos doon, parang ikaw dun,
Subverting
shit,
expectations.
Hindi ko rin alam kung ano sabihin ko kung nandun ako
Yeah.
sa lugar. Parang, tama yan, mag-grab ka na lang.
Spoiler alert
Ay,
for
sorry,
context.
oo.
Ayun, these two find themselves sa El Hogar. They were talking about El Hogar in AKND. Actually na, ide-demolish na yung El Hogar, di ba?
Escolta to, no? Tama ba?
Sa Escolta, yeah.
Escolta
So,
District.
they meet each other again. Our two main characters, si Sam and si Isa. They walk along Escolta and they find the El Hogar, which is still standing, pero gutted na yung loob.
Ano yan eh, objective correlative yun eh. Parang,
Yes,
parang, yung, they're talking about their relationship basically, di ba? Na,
yes.
Uy, 5 years, di ba? Wala na dapat yan. Tapos sasagot si
It's
guy.
still there.
Actually, wala na kasi wala na yung laman yan. Parang
Oo.
So, anong pinag-usapan na? Building
Actually,
o
Yung relationship
relationship
nila.
nila?
Natatawa rin ako dun sa eksena na yun. Not because hindi ako makarelate and other people talagang nangyayari may mga ganun talagang eksena. Pero kasi ang kapansin-pansin dun sa eksena na yun or talagang for me striking is that naging cathartic effect siya nung both characters. Kasi 'di ba ang nag-initiate nung nagtanong si 'di ba si Sam or yung character ni Nico Manalo. So syempre kung ikaw tinanong ng ganun, you don't know how to respond. Pero 'di ba si Vera or si Isa parang 'di ba parang nandun pa yung ambiguous na sagot niya na we got lost, 'di ba? And then ayun na nagsunod-sunod na yung mga
Sa trailer,
effect.
sa trailer akala mo parang
Friends lang sila.
Friends lang sila is this parang generic like hugot moment na we got lost pero hindi ala na. But no, it's this outpouring of emotion that
Kasi walang
follows.
walang nangyari sa kanila, walang naging closure.
Wala akong load.
Yun. So kaya ganun yung nangyari, 'di ba? Parang
Yun.
walang nangyaring closure kaya ayun, naging emotional na yung part na yun dun sa dalawang lead characters.
Speaking of pala yung mga moments na that didn't, yung hindi overt pero may hint lang. Like, for example, yung isa sa pinaka noticeable, well, quote-unquote noticeable is yung pumunta si Alex Medina sa hangar ng and he's parang magre-resign na siya from his job to join Isa abroad. Pero kita mo may regret siya sa mukha niya. Kasi umiiyak siya. Tapos makikita mong umiiyak din si Isa.
yeah.
Na yun.
Tapos binita niyan kasi 'di ba may parang voiceover na sabi ni Frank ni Alex Medina parang alam ko kung ano iniisip mo. Tapos akala mo magdadrama sila. Tapos nagbiro lang
wala eh.
Parang avoidance Pero that's one of the scenes where watching AKND beforehand pays off kasi
True.
may gravity yun for Isa's character kasi remember from AKND nag-sacrifice din si Sam for her.
For her.
Hindi
Napupunta
natuloy
din
yung-
siya ng US. Ay, yung...
Iba pa yun.
Oo.
That's actually a twist dun sa El Hogar scene. Pero before that,
Yung
may
fellowship?
Berlin dapat fellowship
Yeah.
na kinancel niya because he was planning on following Isa.
Yeah.
So, may guilt palagi si Isa na people are sacrificing for her just to be with her. Tapos, this time, si Frank na ulit. Parang,
Yan.
even Frank is now sacrificing things for her again.
There's also, bye Ses. Ses has to go.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Sa pang
Third World Cinema Club.
may isa pang moment sa film na si Sam, he's like parang nagfi-feeler siya na, uy, paano kung magpakasal tayo?
Ayan.
Yun. Tapos, parang si Ana Luna, yung kanyang pangalan ng character niya, parang very non-committal yung sagot niya. Parang maybe, ganun. Parang, what did you say kung magpakasal tayo ngayon?
Actually, nakalimutan ko yun eh. Parang wala siyang, or actually it does, may consequence siya sa what happens
Yes,
towards the end of the story. Oo nga na.
Parang pang-compel din yun kay Sam na personal na basa ko.
Ending. Are we talking about the ending?
Yung,
Basa mo sa,
dun sa yung scene na yun with
that
Ana
scene. Okay.
Luna, na tipong kung mas committal si Ana Luna sa relationship nila, maybe he wouldn't have, parang hindi niya hinanap-hanap masyado si Isa that aggressively, or parang meron siyang justification for himself na I have a committed relationship with this partner. There's no to reopen old wounds, to revisit.
well, I'm not so sure actually. Kasi parang hindi ko sigurado kung anong gusto ni Sam kay
True.
Isa. To me, I think he just wants closure kasi na-cut off talaga sila eh. Parang he tried to follow her to the States pero
Walang sagot
wala nangyari. Oo.
Na-truncate,
I think
kumbaga.
more of parang nababother lang siya na hindi talaga niya alam kung anong nangyari. License sa Berada, no? Hindi ko talaga alam kung anong
License sa
nangyari.
Verano.
Ako kasi, ang basa ko, it somewhat reflects din naman yung generation natin when it comes to commitment, ganon. Kasi di ba may mga couples na they want parang they think na kapag after, let's say, ilang years, let's go, parang marry or let's get married ganon.
Ah.
And not knowing kung ano man yung magiging consequences or magiging tawag dito, events after that, ganon. So, di ba nung sinagot siya ni Ana Luna, very it reflects also our generation na hindi mo alam kung ready
seryoso.
ba or seryoso talaga with the relationship.
It says something about how we communicate din
Yes.
in relationships.
Yun.
Pero anong tingin mo sa kung ano bang gusto ni Sam kay Isa?
Kay Isa. Tsaka kay Ana Luna
Anong gusto
din.
niya mangyari sa yung pakikipag-reconnect nila
Yeah.
in the film?
Does he want to get it off his chest
Or
or
parang gusto pa ba
gusto ba niya
talagang
magkapagbalik?
habulin? Oo. Si Isa.
Ako, ang nasa in my opinion, ang gusto lang mangyari ni Sam ay magkaroon ng closure. Yun yung naiisip ko
Closure.
lang. Closure talaga, not to get back. Kasi, nung nakikita ko naman dun sa part nila ni Ana, okay na sila eh. Parang, kaya nga diba nagtatanong siya kasi they wanted to get settled na. Ganon.
Pero yun nga bakit may uncertainty sa part ni Ana na makipag-settle kay
Kay
Sam?
Sam,
Kasi
no,
di ba
Sam.
yun nga ang scene na yun? And yung, hindi ba may scene na if I remember it correctly, nasa apartment sila ni Ana. Tapos parang
Sinasabi ni Sam na
lumipat na siya.
Actually,
Pero-
yun, parang Sam offered na way
Oo, no? Parang
live-in
dalawa pala
relationship.
yung offer niya.
Yeah.
It turns out, no?
So, is he yung pagkabasa ko personally lang. Parang if Sam had gotten something parang more from that na tipong sige mag-live-in na tayo, mag-ano na tayo together. Parang he could have had a reason to not reconnect, to just let it go. Parang pero yun
Even in terms of
nahahatak.
closure, kind
Oh,
of.
parang I don't need the closure, I already have someone else.
Kasi ang isang factor na kino-consider ko with the character ni Ana ay nagmamaster siya. And then di ba si Sam,
He's not.
parang
Ang reason niya is he's still supporting his family.
may mga ganong issues. So doon mo makikita yung difference nila na si Sam still supporting his family. On the other hand, si Ana, hindi man natin makita yung buong story niya, pero parang she wanted na mag-focus sa career or sa studies
Yes.
niya on the side. Ganon.
And very slightly, I think it also says something about, may mga scenes doon it says something about yung kumbaga yung differences in class ng dalawang relationships. Like yung si Frank tsaka si Isa.
Si
yun.
Frank
They have
and
money to go
Isa.
abroad.
Yes. So,
Hindi na de-deny yung visa nila.
May connections din, I guess. Parang,
Yeah.
Yes,
Tapos
may
yung
connection.
hapagkainan nila is very like upper middle class / middle class.
Oo.
Pero yung si Sam tsaka si Anna, their living conditions are
Parang class D or C or ganun
mga
eh,
middle class or
ganun.
lower middle class. Ganun.
Nakakatawa pa ngayon kasi may detour pa sa probinsya ni Ana, di
Oo.
ba? Yung lolo niya na manggagawa.
Yeah. So talagang ano pala doon makikita mo, it's not just the totality talaga of their situations is laid bare. Kaya which is why I liked it.
That's another layer, no? Parang
Another
Totoo,
layer.
another
iba
Diba?
yung freedom ni Isa and Frank compared to Sam and Ana.
And also napansin ko din nung when Sam and Isa started like reconnecting again, may maririnig ka na may parang musical phrases ka maririnig sa soundtrack. And hindi, ewan ko kung hallucination lang yun or whatever. Para ka-chords niya yung walang hanggan ng Quest. So parang
napansin ko din yan.
It's parang it's harkening back to you cannot escape this what we had in the first film. What yung our kwento, kumbaga our story. Parang it's still coming back to haunt you even though 5 years have passed and we have quote unquote moved on.
Hindi ko yung napansin. Although ang napansin ko lang is walang music up until the time, the scene where they met.
Yes.
Sam and Isa. And then after nun, nagkaroon na ng puro medyo mellow, medyo malungkot na may cello music pa nga. Or
Yes.
at least stringed
I think
stringed
dun
yung scoring ng film.
yung sa pagkakarinig ko, yun nga, hindi ko ma-verify. Parang katunog nga niya yung kanta.
Ayun. Saka dung party, doon na nagkaroon talaga nung kanta di ba? Yung Gabi Alipi ba yun?
Gabi Alipe. Hindi ko alam kung nandun talaga siya kasi ang tagal after in-announce niya, tapos wala siya sa frame pa rin for mga 1 minute.
Hindi, natatawa ko sa eksena na yun kasi parang naalala ko yung sa kung paano siya nawala. Kasi sa bar din So parang siya na, is everyone in the bar, charot. Kasi di ba, ganun na ganun So ATBA pa, ganun. So yun.
Ano masasabi niyo guys about the ending? So again, spoiler alert. After a large emotional like maybe fallout, maybe not between all of the 4 characters, we go back to parang bookend siya You see a poem being recited, which was also recited at the start of the film, which the poem itself, the words of the poem, it encapsulates what this story is about. And then we see that it's actually a flashback to 2 years before the events of the story, also in December, when Sam met Anna for the first time. So, ang tayo sa huling buwan ng taon pa rin, pero ibang tayo.
Ibang taon.
Ibang taon din.
Actually, nalito ko. So parang 2016, napakompute ako.
So 2 years pa.
Nalito ko. 2 years pala. Okay, nagets ko na.
So, ano ang interpretation niyo sa ending na yun? Why did they opt to do that? Are they saying na is this like a continuation of the story? Are they...
Ang question kasi for me is clear yung nangyari kay kay Frank
Yes.
Isa na Frank stayed behind while Isa went
left
ahead
to
leave,
yes.
to start a new life alone. Pero ang cliffhanger, ang open-ended, yung kay Sam and Anna.
Yeah, it's very ambiguous.
So yun yung yun yung gustong sagutin or gusto mong pag-isipan after nung ending na yun. And yung nagkasundo kami ni Ces dito we think it's a hint na Sam will still go after Anna. Kasi she left, diba? Parang yung clue ay pagising niya, naiwan ulit yung tsinelas ni Anna, tama ba? Pero yung the fact na nireflect niya yung ending ng AKND na yung ending niya, ang last words ay let's start. Tapos parang the next film bumalik nakita ulit sila. Parang it's projecting na ganun ulit yung mangyayari. Pero this time with Anna instead of Isa.
Ibang tayo naman.
Ako
kasi,
naman ang sorry.
Parang solid naman kasi na parang di ba tinawagan ni Isa si Sam after nung away nila ni Frank nung nalasang si Frank. Pero ang ending ng call ay last words ni Sam kay Isa ay goodbye. Kasi committed talaga siya kay Anna after all. naganap lang talaga siya ng closure. What happened to us, Isa. Pero story, parang I'm with Anna now. Ganun.
And yung scene na nung binuksan niya yung pinto, you saw Anna na umiiyak. Parang she had heard everything.
Oo. Ako gusto ko yung eksena na yun kasi na-surprise din ako na nakikinig pala siya, ganun. So, syempre parang usually kasi pag ganun, 'di ba, parang pag mga confronting the issues before or of the past, minsan din natin nakikita yung mga tao
That are right
surrounding us or yung
The people that are
current.
right in front
Oo,
of us.
na nasa current relationship.
People in your orbits.
Orbit pa rin.
orbit pa din, gano'n.
Na-eclipse. Eclipse naman yun, eclipse.
Ayun, so, nung nakita ko yon yung pag-iyak ni Ana, sabi ko, okay, kumbaga hindi na natin itong pelikula na to, hindi niya in-ignore yung mga other people na close dun sa mga tao na sa lead characters or yung mga supporting dun sa story, ganon. Tapos, sa ending naman, ako kasi naku-curious ako paano nagkakilala si Sam at Ana. So kasi from the start, parang okay sila na. Pero ano yung paano sila nagkakilala? Ano yung backstory? Ganon.
Unlike
So,
Isa and Frank, alam na natin na may past
Oo, kasi hindi lang natin nakita si Frank doon sa AKND, pero si Ana, wala tayong alam. So yun yung, for me, ang basa ko doon, yun yung sagot doon sa part na paano sila nagkakilala.
So, ayun, DJ, may additional ka pang sasabihin tungkol sa, actually, hindi na kita natanong ulit tungkol sa, naisip ko sa pelikula.
Basahin nyo na lang yung review. Nasabi naman na natin. Pero yung hindi ko nilagay sa review ko kasi this is yung part na it really varies from person to person. Same with ang kwento nating dalawa. Underwhelmed ako sa emotionally
Yes.
with this film. Pero still same with ang kwento nating dalawa. Magugustuhan mo siya once maintindihan mo yung conceit niya, yung concept niya. And stronger yung concept ng ng tayo compared to kwento nating dalawa. And plus, again, unanimous tayo na ang cinematography ay very pleasant all
Amazing.
throughout. Unlike ang kwento nating dalawa na parang 3 o 4 yata kasi yung cinematographer.
4 yung cinematographers.
Gulo ng or parang inconsistent yung quality.
Yeah.
This is film This is Tapos, lastly, sinabi ko kanina na na-appreciate ko yung scenes ni Sam and Isa sa kwento nating dalawa. Pero ang daming ibang eksena na yung word ko for sorry, pero amateurish. Kasi ang awkward, ang daming awkward na scenes sa kwento nating dalawa na sobrang contrived, parang alam mo na pinipilit yata nilang mag-improvise dito. Most of the scenes dun sa school, sa CSB yan, di ba?
CSB,
Yun, most of the scenes dun sa parang ang awkward. For example, yung si Luke, pinuntahan niya si Isa, parang sa faculty room, ganun, parang umupo siya, uy, anong ginagawa mo dito? Saan ka pubanta bago siya umalis? Yung very unnatural. When in fact you should be feeling na sobrang natural ng eksena. Mga ganun. Wala nang ganun sa tayo. Pulido na lahat. So, good job.
Jim, mayroon pang comments about?
Kasi yung part nila, tawag dito, Frank and Isa, ang, ano ba yun, yung memorable moments ba doon, yung nag-break up sila, di ba yung sa, tawag dito, yung kita pa yung pag ng airplane, pag land, gano'n. So, kasi, nag-shoot na rin kami sa show namin before regarding breakup. So, natatawa ako pag gano'n yung mga, I want to find myself, gano'n. So, parang, while watching it, natatawa din ako. Pero doon mo makikita yung dedication ng 2 actors na kahit gano'n yung eksena, they still, parang, nandun sila, holding on dun sa mga emotions ng characters na, okay, I need to find myself, gano'n. Tapos, di ba si Isa, ito na, makikita natin na talagang gogora siya sa sa States. And then yun. Tapos, ano pa ba?
Paano kung di pala, no? Di ulit natin siya nakita. So,
surprise.
Paano kung di pala siya umalis?
Hindi, yung natatawa rin ako sa kwento nating dalawa, going back with kwento. Kasi di ba once you're in tawag dito, communication arts or mass communication student, yun yung diniscuss din namin ng mga co-researcher ko. Ibang ano na to. Natatawa kami kasi wow sa Lasal, CSB yan, di ba? CSB. So, taray, meron na silang red headlight, tas camera. Samantalang nung panahon, parang wala kaming ganyan sa school namin. So, yun. Tapos, another thing pa pala na gusto kong i-comment with tayo is yung character na ni Luke. Kasi makikita mo na rin yung maturity ni Luke, di ba? May business na siya, ganon. So, nung una, loko-loko lang. Parang, siya yung character na hindi mo may isip na, uy, magiging successful. Kasi, di ba, AKN, parang loko-loko lang. Pero,
Dati hipster lang siya.
hipster lang. Tapos ngayon, nagulat na mayroon na siyang barbershop slash parang concept store di ba? So, nakakatuwa na itong best friend ni Sam tawag dito, nag-grow na rin. Kasi makikita mo naman yung mga characters, hinubog na ng panahon parang seasons change as people change. So,
That's great. It's not parang it acknowledges the fact that, time has passed.
oo, yun.
And people are not static.
And nung nakikinig nga ako ng podcast, wala kasi ako ng podcast na yun, yung sa tayo, di ba? Even naman si Nico Manalo, ako surprisingly, di ba, na nung una, may reservation ako sa kanya kasi nga, he's parang unlikable or hindi siya yung iisipin mo na pang leading man pagdating sa romance. And even siya, di ba, inamin niya rin na parang, babagay ba ako dito sa sa ganda-ganda nung leading lady ko, di ba? Pero nung dito kasi nung sa ang kwento, ang nasa isip ko, parang body film. Kasi, hindi sila bagay. Parang for me, I had the reservation, hindi sila bagay. Ganon. Tapos dito na sa tayo, ay okay na yung chemistry nila ni Nico Manalo, Ana Luna. Okay naman yung kay Alex Medina and kay Vera Kumbaga, nag-swak na yung mga tawag dito, personalities ng mga characters nila. So, yung dating hindi mo yung nakala na pang leading man, na-embrace na siya ni Nico Manalo. For me, yun lang in my opinion.
Baka natuto siya sa gusto kita with all my heart.
Wow, nabis ko yan.
Nag-vlog yun.
Isang universe lang pala to no?
Uy, kasi sila din yun, di ba?
Si Nico Manalo na palagi yung heartbroken boy.
Ako, basically, nasabi niyo na lahat yung gusto kong sabihin. Except, meron lang akong isang nitpick na parang, hindi naman talaga nitpick, parang frustration lang. Kasi may scene doon sa yung long take na pinapakita ni Ana yung niya, yung kanyang poetry book to all her friends.
Ay, okay.
Tapos parang, ang bilis-bilis sumuporta. Uy, kung kailangan mo ng illustrator,
Oo, no. Ako rin naisip ko
tulungan
rin
kita.
yun.
Ako, alam mo guys, matagal na ako nagsusulat ng mga kung ano-ano. Ang hirap-hirap makipag-collaborate sa tao. Buti pa kayo, yun
Hindi
lang.
lang yun. Kasi ang isa pang nitpick mo doon, dapat may awkwardness. Parang, okay sila?
Hindi.
So, nakakilala ba sila before? Ganon yung mga ganon yung naiisip ko during that time.
Ang dating sa akin nun, parang hindi naman sila seryoso talaga na tutuloy nila yun. More of, uy, okay ito, nice, gumagawa ka ng ganyan. Uy, pwede tayong gumawa ng something together. Pero alam mo yun, mga plano-plano lang.
Kasi di natutuloy. Ganun pala, ganun na experience ko Doon ako humugot Wala talaga.
Kasi ang naisip mo na awkwardness nun, parang they already have the knowledge na, ito na yung mga, current tawag dito, partners. So parang
Baka they were just trying to be civil.
Yun din. Pwede din.
Alam nga naman maghagisan sila ng
Hindi naman sa ganun. Parang syempre,
kinuha mo ba? Tapos sampalan ng ganun
Nandun din nga yung tension, diba? Especially when si Ana ba yung nagtanong kay Frank na parang, so student ka dati ni
yun pala yun.
Diba? Ang implication nun is, nakuwento din kung sino siya, diba? Parang, pero civil nga sila. Diba? So,
civil. Parang,
realistic pa rin naman. Decent people sila.
Yun ang gusto ko sa pelikulan to It's like a puzzle talaga. Parang, you have all the pieces pero hindi mo alam how they fit exactly. Tapos yung scene din na yun, it says something na magaling mag-drawing si He's, hindi ba illustrator ng models
Si
si
Frank.
ano, si
Graphic
Frank.
designer siya, di ba? Yun ang sabi, graphic
Oo,
designer.
graphic
Ito nga
design
sa
siya.
job niya kasi di ba parang pilot pero skill model worker factor.
Nag-segue siya ng ano, ng
Oo.
career.
Freelancer. Hirap pa talaga ng ekonomiya.
Steve Dailisan ba to? Charot.
A Renaissance man.
Saka ang na-curious din ako with the film kasi hindi ko pa napunta yung Solidaridad. So kaya nung, di ba, nung napatanong ako sa group chat natin na saan yan, parang gustong puntahan. Kasi yun yung minsan magaganda sa film na parang pag di mo napuntahan and then yung film may location sa ganito, mako-curious ka eh. Kaya parang gusto ko rin puntahan yan.
Lapit lang sa amin yun. Tatawirin mo lang yun eh.
Ay,
Gusto ko
wow.
mag-consign ng libro doon eh. Sana kung tanggapin nila. Yun. So, any final thoughts on tayo sa huling buwan ng taon? Ganda. I really like this film. I understand why some people would not like it. Parang it's not for
Kung
everyone.
ayaw mo sa ganung klase ng pelikula in general.
Yeah, kung ayaw mo ng ganun lasang
Kung di ka
pelikula,
talaga interesado.
maybe the drama was too abrupt or something like that. Pero personally, I dug it. Yun. Okay guys, nothing.
Ako I like it as well. Napansin ko lang kasi this year, di ba nung nagpa-podcast tayo, yung mga napapa-podcast natin is like, yung mga una, Elise, and then
Alone Together.
Ula.
They're fine movies.
They're fine movies. Tapos pansin ko, mostly romance na yung genre.
Ah.
So ko, nasa isip ko lang nun, may isip ba kami sa mga ganitong topic? Hindi naman. Nakakataon lang na this year, sunod-sunod talaga yung mga magagandang
The good films are the romance
romance,
films.
yung mga magagandang
Madalang ang... Kasi other than romance, ano lang ba tayo? Horror.
Horror. Romance or horror.
Third World Cinema Club.
Let's talk about Last Full Show by Eduardo Roy Jr. Hindi ko na siya nasulatan ng review actually, sadly. Pero it's about this girl, played by R.C. Munoz, who is she's a filmmaker. Siya yung parang avatar ni Eduardo Roy.
Eduardo Roy, yeah.
Because like Eduardo Roy, she is very adept at making independent films na mga social realist or mga ganun, basta mga serious indie films. Tapos she is tapped by a major like filmmaking corporation. Ano, Galaxy ba yun?
Galaxy Films.
Galaxy Films. Galaxy's made of stars. Wink, wink.
From stars.
na gumawa ng film
Na kailangan bumenta.
na kailangan bumenta. Or else.
Sobrang blatant to eh. First scene pa lang kasi ng pelikula. Pumasok yung character ni R.C. Munoz. Saka nabutan ko na yung pangalan.
Yeah.
Basta pumasok siya dun sa lobby ng Galaxy Films office building. Tumingin-tingin siya. Nakalagay lahat ng posters sa paligid. Pero may hierarchy yung posters. Mas malaki yung kinita ng poster, mas mataas yung pagkakalagay. So, ito yung palakaran dito sa kumpanya to. Parang ganun yung sinasabi niya.
Then there's also a character na parang surrogate ni Loris Guillen-ish. Di ba? Kamukha niya eh. Sino man nag-play sa kasi si Cherry Pie ba?
Anong role ni Gina Alahar?
Si Gina Alahar.
Gina Alahar.
Parang siya yung director, di ba? Yung sabi
Gina
niya.
Alahar.
Si Gina Alahar, she's this super veteran director who made lots of really nice films, wink wink again. Tapos ginagamit siya for sobrang inane romances like yun. Yung, ano ba yun, may alien yata? Ano ba yun? Parang masaya siya. It plays like a self-reflexive siya. It's like a parody ala babae sa septic tank.
Yung pagka self-deprecating.
Self-deprecating din. And it works as a romantic film din. More or less. And also, there's something din about parang, yun nga eh, it's about art versus commerce or business.
Or mainstream versus indie. Yung
Oo.
mga dichotomist na yun.
Tapos what artistic do you have to sacrifice to survive as a filmmaker?
Pero yun, yung interesting doon kasi so pinosit nung pelikula na ito yung issue na may ganitong perceived dichotomies. And it ends up advocate yung stance niya on that issue in the end is yung quote-unquote, why not both?
Yeah, it's a balance.
Yun yung stand niya na
And it doesn't feel preachy to me. Hindi siya preachy. It just says, it makes its case. Tas yun na.
pero niya parang Hindi ba parang may conflict of interest pa rin kasi it's still coming from a commercial film studio.
Yes.
So,
Yung one of the more interesting things na na-pick up ko, and I talked with, again, this is a film shot by Take Lamor. The aspect ratio of the two is changing.
magkaiba.
Kasi-
May film within a film kasi.
Yeah, there's a film within a film, and that film within a film is filmed in a aspect ratio that is common to romantic films. Ito daw yung usually ginagamit na aspect ratio. Meanwhile, yung real world, this is the aspect ratio, yung sobrang widescreen niya.
Mas wider.
May letterboxing, tapos it's the aspect ratio you see in yung mga independent films.
Yung mga mas art films yun.
Pero sa basa ko din, parang that very widescreen appearance, it calls attention to itself na pelikula din ako. Yung that outer layer of quote-unquote reality is still a film.
Abrupt kasi yung change eh. Hindi lang abrupt, parang it calls attention to itself kasi parang may transition yung pag-widen. or pag-shorten.
Biglang nagkakaroon ka ng letterbox eh.
So hindi siya yung subtle, kasi minsan subtle yung mga aspect ratio
Yeah.
changes eh. Dito parang it's calling attention to the change in aspect ratio.
Na yun eh, na even if this is still a dramatization of what I want my message to be, or what the director wants to say, na these are both films, parang these are both facets of what I am.
May question ako kasi 'di ba parang nabanggit nyo somewhat in the mood for love. Bakit? Naintriga ako. Bakit sa in
Joke
the mood
yun
for love?
from the film itself. As in,
yes.
nung nagbe-brainstorm si RC Munoz along with her, yung filmmaker friends niya. Kasi, unang nagsubmit, yung kwento kasi is nagsubmit ng script si RC sa Galaxy Films. Pero ang daming gustong changes kasi, I guess, parang stock pa rin siya dun sa mindset niya before na indie art na subtle ganyan. Parang, hindi to bebenta, so pinarevise sa kanya. So, parang naghanap ng bagong kwento. And then, yung suggestion nung filmmaker friends niya, gawa tayo ng parang in the mood for love. Pero less mood, more love. Yun yung joke, actual line from the film.
Okay.
Pero,
I see.
yun nga, ganun din yung nangyari. More love, less mood. Malayong-malayo yung tone niya sa in the mood for love.
Saka nababasa ko sa reviews, parang
Yung conceit lang na ka-relationships kasi nilang dalawa.
Yeah. Their
May
spouses
relationship
are
na nila.
cheating on each other.
talagang in the mood for love nga.
Pero nang in the mood for
Oo,
love.
in the mood for
eh.
love nga.
Yun lang, pero malayong-malayo yung
Malayong-malayo the rest of the film.
Another question, kasi napansin ko dun sa mga review, parang, kasi kayo napanood niyo ako, hindi ko pa napanood. Sabi parang annoying daw yung acting ni
RC Munoz.
RC Munoz.
I think
It's RC Munoz being RC Munoz.
okay.
So,
Love it or hate it.
your mileage may
I
vary.
like it, love it or hate it.
Sana okay lang. Fun naman. Parang even better than saan ko lang ba siya napanood? Can we still be friends?
Can we still be friends?
Always be
And
my maybe, okay siya eh.
Parang-
Always be my maybe is also nice.
Okay naman siya sa akin. So,
It's an acquired taste.
your
ganun.
mileage may vary.
Okay. How about JM De Guzman?
Pero yun yung interesting si JM De Guzman. Kasi for the longest time, or for a long time in the film, yung may kilala mo lang siya, may kita mo lang siya on screen when he's playing yung character sa film within a film.
Yeah.
Yung fictional version
The
niya.
fictional version of himself.
So, sobrang interesting when he actually shows up as yung real, quote-unquote, real-life character niya.
Okay.
Kasi parang bagong character ulit siya. So, he's essentially playing two roles. So, unlike RC kasi na similar yung film within a film version niya, saka yung
Yung her
parang
self.
mas malungkot lang ng konti yung self-self niya. Pero may mystery kay JM nung lumabas siya. So,
I see.
interesting storytelling, characterization,
Okay.
change. Ganun.
Yun. And also, I guess yung structure ng film is, although they're both happy endings, happy rom-com endings,
Okay.
would you say? Na at least yung outer film, yung widescreen version, masaya sila together. Yung film din na film pa yung nag-try to subvert expectations by being bittersweet. Pero pinaiba pa rin yun ng studio to be something. Kasi love teams.
Okay.
It also dealt with, kasi with love teams, meron ka talagang set na, ganito ba yan? Naghali ka na ba yung love team in real life? Anong stage of their quote-unquote relationship sila. So it tackles those things too eh. It's a nice film about filmmaking.
Sayang hindi ko napanood.
Pero
Kakainis.
kaya nakaka-curious din or nakaka-paranoid din talaga. Parang gusto mo tanongin si Eduardo Roy Jr. Parang, so, itong napanood ba namin ay ito rin yung gusto mong gawin talaga?
Ano ba talaga gusto mo?
May pinabago ba sa'yo dito?
Baka hindi niya masabi kasi alam mo
Kailangan
naman.
off the record.
May aabangan pa tayo sa kanya because of Cinemalaya.
Yes.
Fuckboy.
Tweet na lang namin pag nakausap namin.
Yan.
Sub-tweet.
Hi Eduardo Roy, hi. If you're listening to this. We like your movie. Sayang lang talaga. It went I think it was relatively well attended pero it went under the radar. Tsaka
Kasi
it led up to Avengers din. So medyo natabunan na siya with
Mag-Holy
everything
Week kasi nung pinalabas yung
Yeah.
last full show. And sadly, nung Avengers Endgame, halos puro Avengers
wala
Endgame
na.
ang
Hindi lang
palabas sa mga
halos,
sinahan.
Wala talaga. As in, walang-wala.
Oo.
For like a week. Wala.
I was parang expecting na magpapalabas sila ng last full show sa microcinema until na wala.
Yeah, maybe when I see it again, I'll write a review. Pero yun nga,
Ngayon. Kasi
tinatamad ako.
based on your reviews, talagang interesting yung film kaya gusto ko rin mapanood.
I really liked it.
May-enjoy mo. So, funny din talaga siya. May mga,
Yeah.
may favorite joke. Pwede ka ba i-spoil yung joke?
Sige,
Ikaw lang.
okay, sige. Or kahit yung gist lang yung joke. If you
Actually,
want.
i-spoil na natin yung ending na.
Oh, actually. Sorry.
Tatawa lang ako kay RC kasi parang, kasi may mga confrontation scenes parang tatanang, sino ka? Sino ka? Sabi niya, netizen, bakit?
Netizen.
Pero yun, maraming funny lines sa bansa.
Okay.
It's ano,
It's a true rom-com na may com sa...
may it really calms the rom-com.
I
And
see.
I hope you guys get to watch it in microcinemas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Third World Cinema Club.
So, what have you guys watched recently? So, I watched another local film coming out this week, which came out this week. It's Man and Wife by,
Ayun na.
surprise, Laurice Guillen. Yan. It's actually based on a long-running,
Yes, Gulong ng Palad.
Gulong ng Palad. Characters from Gulong ng Palad are the characters in this film. Pero parang they're transposed into these new... Parang, basta ang gist kasi ng Gulong ng Palad, si Carding, tsaka si pangalan ng babae.
I forgot the name ni nung role ni Marian De La
Luisa
Riva.
ba yun or something?
Na later si Christine Hermosa ang gumanap sa
May
TV.
teleserye to ng 2009.
Yes, 2009.
Tapos si TJ Trinidad, si Carding.
Yes.
So this one has Gabby Concepcion and Jody Santa Maria. They're two people na their relationship was frowned upon by
Liza Lorena.
Liza Lorena in this case, yung parent niya. And they come back after learning na Liza Lorena's character had a stroke.
Okay.
And then there are sobrang daming subplots about this mining corporation which is sponsored by Liza Lorena, which is destroying the town, na maraming namatay doon sa mga it's very super melodramatic. pero parang talagang yung paulit-ulit na bakit pa to ginawa? Yun yung naisip ko. It's so dated. Kumbaga, it's yung the drama, everything is something that would work in the 80s. Pero ewan ko if it still has that same power here. And the marketing didn't do it any favors. Kasi hindi ko alam na Gulong ng Palad, ano pala to?
Oo nga.
Fanfiction, ganun.
Oo.
Hindi ko alam na ganun pala siya until I saw the movie. So, yung mga potential fans, if there were still fans of that original,
Tagal na nun, that's
hindi nila
80s.
alam. Kaya dalawa lang kami na nun sa sinihan. I really don't know why this was made. Parang, it's not bad per se. I mean, there's some nice acting in here, pero parang, why? Hindi na lang kayo
Why talaga?
ng miniseries or something. It would probably have garnered more viewers. Parang special. Pero I don't know why this was made into a movie.
Okay.
Kayo guys, have you watched anything recently? Ikaw, Jim?
Ako yung naghahabol kasi ako ng mga hindi ko napanood nung Oscar season. So, I watched 3 Oscar nominated films. Yung Aywa.
3 Billboards?
Hindi ko napanood. Pero papanoorin ko siya.
Ano yung napanood mo, Jim? Sorry.
Ang napanood ko ay Boy Erased, A Private War, And kanina lang, Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Melissa McCarthy.
Sa tatlo, yung pinaka-nagustuhan ko ay yung Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Oh, okay.
Kasi with Can You Ever Forgive Me, de-glamorize kasi yung role ni dito ni Melissa McCarthy. And then,
it's not straight comedy.
Oo. Saka nakakatuwa kay Melissa McCarthy dito, yung character niya. Ramdam mo yung anxiety niya, yung takot niya, ganun. Kasi isolation niya. Saka yung sa age niya kasi talaga mahirap na maghanap ng trabaho and it was set in the 90s. So nandun yung frustration and dama mo sa kanya yon. Tapos binakapan pa yun ng magaling na supporting ni Richard E. Grant as Jack Hawk. Yun. And then with The Private War, surprisingly nagustuhan ko siya kasi it's about war correspondent Marie Colvin. Usually kasi diba pag media, may mga selected movies ka lang na magugustuhan na story. Ito kasi, ito yung part ng media coverage na ginawang film na for me, kasi di ba minsan pag sa media, pag mga ganitong story, dangerous siya and risky. So,
ang si Rosamund Pike.
Rosamund Pike, yun. Yung Amy Elliott Dunn dati sa Gone Girl, ayun.
And Andromeda in Wrath of the Titans. Obscure heroes.
Kasi si Rosamund Pike, maaalala ko lang siya as Bond Girl and then yung Gone Girl.
Bond Girl nga pala.
And then, ito na A Private War. Ang lang sa akin dun sa film is yung part na parang naging sex addict siya. I don't know if it's true kasi hindi ko pa na-research. Parang in a way, feeling ko yun yung coping with niya dun sa parang PTSD niya. Kasi ang dami niyang na-witness na mga death, ganon. So yun, ang ganda ng A Private War. With Boy Erase naman, kasi di ba parang before na sabi ko, parang somewhat yung Born Beautiful, may ganong part yung regarding sa mga reparative or conversion therapy. With this naman, I find it matapang na film because diniscuss nga nila yung sa conversion or reparative therapy. And then, magaling si Lucas Hedges. Yun yung highlight talaga ng film.
This is based on a book?
Yes, based on a memoir. I forgot the name of the author. Pero, yun. Pero so far, yung nagustuhan ko talaga is Can You Ever Forgive Me? Galing galing ni Melissa McCarthy. Yan lang.
DJ?
Other than Game of Thrones, na talaga emotional ako about it. Kasi ito lang yata yung series na sundan ko for most of its run Na as in 2012 ko siya nasimulang panoorin. Naalala ko parang season 1 parang pinanood ko yung pilot 10 PM. Mga by 8 AM the next day natapos ka na yung season yan. Tinuloy ko talaga kasi hindi talaga ako
binge mo talaga.
Binge. Tapos di rin kasi ako nanonood talaga masyado na series and I'm happy na I chanced upon of all the series I can watch Game of Thrones pa. So, pero other than that, ang napanood ko ay Life 2017.
Oh, Life.
Not sure kung sino. I don't remember yung writer or directors. Pero ito yung starring
Jake Gyllenhaal yan, diba?
Rebecca Ferguson, Jake Gyllenhaal. Yun daw yun Gyllenhaal. Swedish kasi yun parang yun daw yung proper pronunciation.
Oo, ganun pala.
And even Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds na.
Okay. Napanood niyo na ba yun? Ang story niya ay
ito ba yung parang sci-fi?
Sci-fi horror. They found life from Mars. So, nakaka-capture sila ng cell from soil samples sa Mars. And then, for security, syempre, parang alien life. So, sa ISS siya pinag-aralan. So, may biologist and then he tried to revive yung cell kasi parang it's in deep hibernation. Something ganyan. Binigyan niya ng glucose, kinoriente niya, ganyan. And then, started growing. Pero syempre dahil horror siya, tapos things became
Tari ni music sa background.
Hostile.
Sure.
Na-enjoy ko naman siya. Hindi ko naman trip talaga yung ganong genre. Although, na-enjoy mo siya. Parang tas, ang panalo ko sa pelikula yung ending niya. Or basta may twist doon, somewhere na mainis kayo. Pero ang common review sa kanya is derivative daw kasi para siyang part alien, part gravity.
Okay. Interesting.
Kasi parang yung mga nababasa kong review about Life, siya mix toward, mix to negative review siya
Pero
Parang yung sa Passenger, di ba nila, although hindi ko napanood yung Passenger, yung kay...
Passenger.
Yung kay
Actually,
Jennifer Lawrence and Chris.
My main issue with Passengers yung structure ng pelikula na bakit pa nila sinikreto tong... If it was more straightforward, baka mas magigets ko pa yung story.
Yung life parang it doesn't offer much in the way of characterization din. Talagang it's all about the
It's
sci-fi
just
horror.
like a story.
Ganun.
Alright, so that ends our very, very random hour of podcasting. Namiss lang namin ang isa't isa.
Yes.
Charot. So, we'll be seeing you guys next time, pero past versions of ourselves maybe.
Pero alam nyo guys, na-excite ako dun sa
Gulo-gulo na
Quezon's
yung
Game.
timeline natin.
Sa?
Quezon's
Quezon's
Game.
Game,
Yung
yeah.
kayong...
Gusto yung pag-usapan yun?
Ako gusto ko siya mapanood.
Sige, maybe we'll schedule something in the future.
Okay.
We'll keep you guys posted.
In the future or the past?
For the past.
Gulo na ng timeline natin.
We need Infinity Stones to correct the timeline. So, bye guys. To our
6 na yata.
six viewers. Yeah.
6 to 7. Depende sa oras.
Our potential Chinese viewers, ni hao. Welcome to your new province.
Ay. Going
Charot.
political. Charot.
And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Pilipinas.
再见。
第三世界电影俱乐部